Good evening. This morning we mentioned that the eve of Pesach, all firstborns are to fast. And we said the way to get out of it, because one would be weak if they would not have the strength in order to prepare for the Chag and get ready and stay up at night, what we do is we attend a Siyum Masechet, the finishing of a volume of the Talmud. One person does it, and everyone that partakes now are able to eat. Now when I say partake, it says as follows, that when the siyum is being done, when the finishing of the Talmud, that volume is being done, those that are attending need to understand. Chachamim tell us that if you partake in a finishing of a volume of Talmud, let's say one person learned, whether it's 10 pages, 20 pages, 30 pages, 130 pages, that volume of Talmud, if you partake in that siyum, in that finishing, you have the merit, you get the merit as if you learned it. All those hours and hours, just by being at the siyum. There's a condition to that. The condition is you have to understand what the last part of the Talmud is. The one getting up and making the siyum, you have to understand what he's saying and understand the finishing off of the Talmud that he's actually doing. Now, the same goes for if one wants to acquit themselves from fasting on the eve of Pesach. So when on Friday morning, wherever you are in the world, you're listening to the siyum being done, you need to understand what is being said in the finishing off of the Talmud, A, to get the merit, and B, in order to partake in the meal that is going to be right then and there. It's something that it's quite important that if not, you unfortunately didn't do it properly. We're going to mention one last thing, and who is it that needs to fast? Who has to fast? You might think, oh, I'm not a firstborn, I don't need to fast. So it goes as follows. Whether you are the firstborn from your mother or from your father, that means if they had previous marriages, you have to fast. Whether you're a Kohen, Levi, or Israel, you have to fast. Women don't, it's only men. It's whether you're married or whether you're not married. Now here's one more. If you're not a firstborn, but you have a firstborn son, let's say you have an older brother, an older sister, so you're not the first. But you have a son that is a firstborn, and he is under the age that he knows or is able to fast, under bar mitzvah for argument's sake, and he's not going to come. You do it on their behalf. That means you either have to fast for them, or the easier way is to go to a synagogue that is going to have a siyum, listen to the siyum, and eat from the siyum. So these are, again, all men, no matter Kohen, Levi, Israel, whether you are firstborn from either side of your family, either the father or your mother, and the chidush is even if you have a child that is a firstborn. Some say that if you're a firstborn and you have a firstborn son that's under bar mitzvah, so then how are you going to do it? You have to do a double. You need to listen and then maybe have your wife do it on their behalf. So halakha l'maaseh, we're lenient that even if you're a firstborn and your son is underage, with that one siyum, you are all good, set to go. If you have older children which are firstborns, but unfortunately they're not going to be attending to the siyum, there's nothing you can do about it. If you're not a firstborn and then you have a firstborn son and your firstborn son's over 13 but he's not coming, it's not like you can hear the siyum for him. They have to do it themselves. The only way, and this is a very big hidush, to get out of it is if you're podeh ta'anit. That means you give charity on behalf of how much that person would be eating that day. Let's say you're traveling and you don't have a siyum, and you know you have to eat because you can't survive without eating that day. You won't be able to make it. You'll get sick. You'll pass out. What you're allowed to do is you're allowed to calculate how much am I going to eat that day, and whatever it is you're going to eat, you give that to charity, and then you're able to eat that day, and it wouldn't be an issue. Okay? Tomorrow morning, shacharit is 6:45 korbanot.